Welcome to Romania, a place that feels both ancient and eternal, where the past and present walk hand in hand. That place is Romania, one of Europe's most enchanting and quietly beautiful countries, where every landscape, street, and face tells a story worth listening to. Romania lies in the heart of Eastern Europe. Surrounded by the Carpathian Mountains and touched by the Black Sea, it is a land of endless charm and quiet strength, where nature and culture are woven together like an ancient tapestry. Around 19 million people call it home, and together they build a life that feels peaceful, warm, and deeply rooted in history. For visitors, Romania doesn't just show its beauty, it makes you feel it. The capital, Bucharest, is where Romania's heartbeat is strongest, a city of contrasts, where the past still stands proudly beside the future. Its wide boulevards and grand architecture remind visitors of its early 20th century nickname, the Little Paris of the East. Walk through the streets of Bucharest and you'll find old buildings with carved balconies beside modern glass towers. Cafes spill out onto sidewalks filled with conversation, and the scent of strong coffee and fresh pastries drifts through the air. The people of Bucharest are lively, friendly, and full of energy. They love to talk, to laugh, and to enjoy life. The city moves fast, yet somehow never loses its charm. One of the most remarkable things about Romania is its balance. It is modern without being rushed, traditional without being trapped in the past. Here, progress does not mean forgetting one's roots. In Bucharest, you can attend a concert in a centuries-old opera house one evening, and the next day work from a sleek modern office with Wi-Fi faster than in most Western capitals. It's a place where the old and the new dance gracefully together. But the real magic begins when you leave the cities and wander into the countryside. The moment you step outside the urban noise, time slows down. You'll see hills covered in wildflowers, forests so thick that sunlight filters through them like golden dust, and villages that look as if they belong to another century. In these small towns, life still follows a rhythm of nature. Chickens wander in the yards, old men ride horse carts down dirt roads, and women in colorful scarves wave as you pass by. It's not nostalgia, it's reality. Romania has preserved its soul in a world that often forgets how to slow down. The countryside is full of simple beauty. Wooden churches rise on green hills, their bells ringing softly across the valleys. Farmers work the field with patience, and children play freely in open meadows. When evening comes, families gather around a table for homemade food, soup, bread, and vegetables straight from their gardens. There's warmth in every gesture, every meal, every smile. The people here are not rich in money, but they are rich in spirit. They have what many modern societies have lost, a sense of belonging, connection, and peace. Romania's landscapes are among the most diverse in Europe. The Carpathian Mountains stretch across the country like a great green arch. Their slopes are covered with pine forests, waterfalls, and hidden trails leading to breathtaking views. Wild bears and wolves still roam here, making these mountains one of the last true wildernesses in Europe. In winter, the peaks turn white and quiet, becoming a paradise for skiers and nature lovers. In summer, the same mountains burst with color and life. A carpet of flowers, fresh streams, and wooden cabins that welcome travelers with homemade honey and cheese. And then there's Transylvania, perhaps the most famous region of Romania, known to the world through myths and legends, but loved by Romanians for something much more real. Transylvania is not a land of vampires or fear, but of peace, charm, and timeless beauty. Here you'll find towns like Brașov, Sibiu, and Cluj-Napoca, filled with medieval streets, colorful houses, and church towers rising above the rooftops. Cobblestone alleys lead to quiet squares where time seems to stand still. Cafes filled with the sound of violins, and everywhere you look, there's a sense of old-world grace. At sunset, the mountains around Transylvania turn golden, and the whole landscape glows as if it's breathing with life. Among the rolling hills stands Bran Castle, often called Dracula's castle. While the legend draws visitors from around the world, the castle tells a deeper story, one of resilience, art, and history. Further north lies Maramures, often described as the heart of Romanian traditions. It's a place where life hasn't changed much in hundreds of years. Wooden gates carved with ancient symbols, haystacks standing in green fields, and people wearing traditional clothes, not for tourists, but because it's their way of life. The wooden churches of Maramures, with their tall spires and hand-carved details, are masterpieces of craftsmanship. Many are listed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites, not just for their age, but for the spirit they carry. In Maramures, every song, every dance, every meal feels like a celebration of being alive. And then there's the Danube Delta, one of the last wild paradises in Europe. Here, the mighty Danube finishes its long journey by splitting into countless branches before meeting the Black Sea. It's a world made of water, sky, and silence. Pelicans, herons, and swans glide above the water, while fishermen in small wooden boats cast their nets in the early morning light. Life here moves to the rhythm of the river. The air smells of reeds and salt, and sunsets paint the horizon in gold and pink. The Danube Delta is not just a place. It's a feeling of calm so deep it stays with you long after you leave. Romania's beauty doesn't stop at nature. Its culture is one of the richest in Europe, full of music, poetry, and art that reflect its soul. Romanian music is both joyful and melancholic, blending violins, flutes, and accordions in melodies that touch the heart. Folk dances bring communities together, with people holding hands and moving in circles, a symbol of unity and togetherness. Food in Romania is another form of love. Meals are not rushed, they're shared. The flavors are simple but full. Sarmale, cabbage rolls stuffed with rice and meat. Mamalaga, cornmeal like polenta, grilled meats, soups full of herbs, and desserts like kozinac and papanasi. Everywhere you go, you'll find homemade wine and plum brandy offered with a smile and a toast. Romanians believe that good food brings people together, and they're right. Romanians are warm, generous, and deeply proud of their heritage. They love to talk, to tell stories, to laugh even in hard times. Guests are always welcome with open arms and a full table. There's a saying here, a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet. Romania's economy has been growing steadily. Technology, agriculture, and tourism are strong pillars. Yet even as cities modernize, the country remains deeply connected to its traditions. Romanians have moved forward without losing what matters most, their values, their families, their joy of living. Life in Romania is calm, soulful, and full of heart. It doesn't need to compete with anyone because it already has everything: nature, culture, kindness, and depth. For those who take the time to see it, Romania feels like a secret paradise hiding in plain sight, a treasure at the edge of Europe that glows quietly while the rest of the world rushes by. Once you've seen it, you'll understand Romania doesn't just stay in your memory. It stays in your heart.